So my problem here is that I'm starting a little bit late. It's 3:30 in the afternoon and I'm gonna lose light really soon. So here's my dresser with 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum Transformation kit. And here is Scott's dresser with 2 coats. I still have little areas here and there that need to be taken care of, and I'm gonna do that now with a tiny little brush. But otherwise, we both like them very much. This is going to be a totally different look. So you see when you're far away. So imagine with a gloss over it and brushed nickel hardware, it's going to be totally different. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish those little areas real quick, and then I'll use the gloss that goes over it, and that would be this one right here. This is Protective Top Coat. So I have a ton of tiny little makeup brushes that I don't use, and I'm going to use that for the purpose of finishing these little areas here, just for the touch-up. It's not a lot. It's just those little corners right there where you can see the old color, and I think it's only on this side right here, so that's covered. I'm good to go. So here we go, protective coat. I'm using a synthetic brush and I'm just gonna go very slowly on it. I don't know if it gives it a big gloss or not. I guess we're gonna find out. Trying to avoid having bubbles. And right now it looks white, but I'm going to assume, I sure hope so, that it dries to a clear. So the interesting thing about that is that unlike shellac, this one you only put 1 coat. They don't want you to put a second coat, you only put 1 coat. So you got to be very careful when you apply that coat, and you want to be very even in your application with no bubbles, which can be difficult. And if you have any kind of a drip, you got to wipe it off and go over it again, and you got to be careful. Not necessarily for this type of furniture, because this is mostly, you know, flat surfaces. But sometimes on cabinets you would have, sculpted wood and you know, crevices and corners and things like this, and the product tends to pool into it. So if it pools into it, then you got to pick it up basically with a soft cloth and start over. But according to them, 1 coat is enough. So we'll see what 1 coat does. It dries pretty fast, though it needs 12 hours to cure. I've noticed that on the top of the cabinet, if I go with the brush now, it's gonna get very tacky. So it does tend to set pretty fast. So what I've seen so far, this thing dries as a sheen. It's not a gloss. It's almost the same than what I have on my furniture, the rest of the furniture, which is great because now it's really, really matching. So now, again, on the side, I'm going up and down and not sideways. It really doesn't show the streaks from the brush once it's dry, but you definitely don't want to have any puddles, okay, or drips or anything like this. And I've had a few drips, but they went on the carpet, so too bad. Too bad for the carpet. So I've had, I'm going to discuss some comments from the last video. Some folks have had concern with my picking wallpaper. Obviously, wallpaper, you either in it or you don't. You either like it or you don't like it. We personally love wallpaper. Both of us grew up in houses that were wallpapered. And you've seen that I've brought back some samples of wallpaper that were in the house in Normandy. We really like wallpaper. We like textured wallpaper, and we like architectural design wallpaper and more classical damask type wallpaper. And the wallpaper that I picked is a peel and stick wallpaper. What it means by that is that you just peel it and you stick it, and in order to take it out, you just pull it. It's not glued. So when you tie it, it's like, and I explained that in one of my comments, it's like a premium contact paper basically. So when you're tired of it, you just pull it off. And then you change it to whatever you want. If you want another type of wallpaper. And it's particularly good when you make a mistake, when you have like a pattern that needs to repeat. And you need to reposition it, you just, you know, peel it off and put it back on. I'm not sure how it's going to sustain the heat in this room during the summertime, so I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But for those of you who haven't noticed, this room, we haven't painted it. It was painted by the previous owner, and it's like a beige, sandy beige color, which is really unattractive. But it's actually painted wallpaper. There's some areas where you can see the seam where the wallpaper used to be. So what the previous owner did is that there was probably, you remember when I did my bathroom makeover, there was some floral wallpaper that obviously was in the bathroom, which was very pretty actually. I really like that one. I suspect that this is the wallpaper that was also here, and he didn't bother removing it, he just painted over. You just use a good primer, and you paint over it whatever color you want. You can actually wallpaper over wallpaper if your previous one doesn't have any texture. You just gotta have a good bond to go with it. So yeah, wallpaper is not like a life sentence. You know, you can change it. You can, especially now with the new technology, with the peel and stick, you can change it. You can put something else instead within weeks. You don't have to be spending endless hours with a steamer and a scraper to get rid of the wallpaper. So the idea of doing it all around was coming from things that I've seen, you know, online and magazines, where people actually in attics like this get the wallpaper all around. But I think the pattern that I picked is too big for that. So I'm just going to do it on the vertical surfaces. And some of you asked me whether I plan on redoing the staircase, and yes I do. I don't know when. It's not part of this project, but yes, the staircase will be redone in lighter color, and probably will get the same curtains here, over there, you know, just to make the whole thing as a one room rather than two separate areas. So I'm going to continue doing this and finish both dressers, and then when they're done I'll show them to you. I hope you're going to be able to see, because it's getting dark. It's 4:30 already, so in about an hour it'll be completely dark outside. But so far, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, it's got some kind of a sheen to it. It's not a gloss again, it's more of a I don't know how to describe it. It's just a sheen. So it's not like super shiny, which kind of is nice.
the only thing with that is that you can only put one coat. They don't say put a second coat. I don't want to risk putting a second coat, but I tell you what, if I feel that I need some extra protection on those, because you know we're not gentle with our stuff, especially me, then what I'll probably do is get some shellac in semi-gloss or a semi-matte and put shellac all over it and do several coats of that. But so far, I'm loving it.
So I'm pretty sure you can't see a thing because it's getting too dark. But this is the patina sheen that I was telling you about. This is on Scott's dresser. And this is what it looks like on my dresser. I don't know if you can see it. It's too dark, I'm sorry. But I did go ahead and shamelessly put a second coat on the top because you know I'm going to put a ton of stuff and crap and whatnot on top of this dresser, and I want it to be really protected. So yeah, you can definitely see the sheen here. So yep, the two dressers are done. This one's been put back against the wall. Can't wait to see them with the new knobs, and that would be it. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.